What's up, everybody? Blair Waggett here with Waggett's World. I'm going to be jumping really quickly through some fraction stuff today just to kind of give you guys out there an idea of how I teach things in my class so you can continue to learn it at home. And again, I'm sorry for being fast, but it takes forever to upload these videos, so here we go. Right now we're going to just talk about what you do if you add or subtract fractions with like denominators. That means that the numbers on the bottom are the same. For example, if you have 1/3 plus 1/3, you'll notice that the number on the top, we call this the numerator, and the number on the bottom is called the denominator. If the denominators are the same, then you can go right ahead and add. You'll notice we have 3 and 3. I'm just going to circle them so you can see them. So if they are the same, you can go right ahead and add or subtract. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 3 in this case is 3 because you do not add your denominators ever. I don't care if they're the same, different, whatever, you don't add them. So here's your answer, 2/3. Now we're going to do a subtraction one. Here we go. If we add 4/5 minus 2/5, you'll notice again our denominators here are the same. So we can go ahead and subtract because we don't need to change anything. 4 take away 2 is 2. 5 take away 5 in this case is 5 because we don't do anything with our denominators if they're the same. Here's your answer, 2/5. Booyah, done. Alright, now you'll notice that our denominators here are not the same. So I teach your kids 2 different ways to do this. The first would be what we call the least common denominator, or what we also call the LCD. Alright, first thing that you do when you do this, you notice your denominators are not the same. You cannot add or subtract if they're not the same. So you got to find the multiples of 2 and 3. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, you can go as many as you need to go. 3, 6, 9, 12. You should notice that we have 2 numbers here that are the same. It's 6. So we're going to use this 6 and we're going to change these into 6. Let me show you how to do that over here. Here we go. We're going to take 1/2. We're going to change them into 6. Take 1/3 and we're going to change them into 6. I always ask my students, well, how do we get from 2 to 6 by multiplying? You should know that you can multiply 2 times 3 to get 6. If you multiply the denominator by 3, you got to multiply the numerator by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. You'll notice that 1/2 is the same as 3/6 because 3 is 1/2 of 6. Down here we multiply by 2 because we multiply 3 times 2 to get 6. 1 times 2 is 2, and you'll notice that 2 will go into 6 3 times, which is why it is the same as 1/3. So here we go. Now we got 3/6 plus 2/6. I'm going to add that back up here. 3/6 plus 2/6. You'll notice based on the other part of our video that if our denominators are the same, we can add. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 plus 6 in this case is 6 because we do not add our denominators. So here's your answer. There's the whole thing so you can take a look at it. Alright guys, here's the second way that I teach kids to solve fractions with unlike denominators. I like to call this Waggett's Way because I came up with it. I really didn't come up with it, but that's okay. So here we go. Waggett's Way to me is very simple when you have denominators that are very small like 2 and 3. I would not recommend using this with large denominators. I'll show you why in just a second. All you do is what I like to call the bow tie or something like that. Sort of looks like a bow tie, sort of doesn't, but you'll notice these arrows up here. These will be very important as we get farther into the video. I'll show you. So you multiply everything that's touching. These two are the denominators are touching. The denominator and the numerator are touching here. These are touching here. So you multiply everything. 2 times 3 is 6. It's our new denominator. That should look familiar from the last part of the problem where I told you to do least common denominator. Now we multiply 3 times 1, which is 3. 2 times 1, which is 2. And we can add 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 plus 6 is 6. Well, because we don't add our denominators, we do fractions. I'm going to say that a lot. Here's your answer. Alrighty, so when is the best time to use Waggett's Way? When's the best time to use least common denominator? Well, let's take a look at an example right here where it'll make it pretty clear which is the best one. So right here we're going to do Waggett's Way. Let's see what happens. First we're going to connect the numbers that we multiply. Can't be more explicit about how important it is to pay attention where these arrows point. 18 times 9, I don't know that off the top of my head, neither will your child. You probably don't either. 8 times 9 is 72. We carry our 7. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 7 is 16. So 162 is our new denominator. Wow. Imagine what your child might be thinking right now. 18 times 1 is 18. 9 times 1 is 1. And this is just with 1 as our numerator. Imagine if the numerator or the numerator was larger. It'd be even a more difficult problem. So now you've got to add 18 plus 9 is 27 over 162. Your child is probably not excited about what they're going to have to do to simplify this right now. There's a lot that's going to have to go on for them to be thinking about what number will go into 27 and also go into 162. So again, it's going to get really difficult for them. So let's try it with least common denominator and see how much easier it'll make it for them. First, we're going to list the multiples of 18 and 9. Pretty simple. 18 is your least common denominator. A whole lot easier to deal with than 162. So the great thing is we don't even have to change 1/18 because it's already in 18ths. We just need to change 1/9. We'll do that over here in green to show you what that looks like. So we got to change 1/9 into 18ths. What do you multiply by 9? Excuse me, what do you multiply 9 by to get 18? You multiply it by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. So now we got 2/18ths. We're going to bring that 2/18ths back down here. We're going to add it to 1/18, which will give us 3/18. But we don't stop there because we got to simplify, which I'll talk about more. We're going to divide the top and the bottom by 3 because 3 will go into both of these numbers. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Your answer is 1/6. Now this may look like a lot of work, but this is a whole lot less overwhelming for children when they see 160 seconds. That's even tough to say.